Hello and welcome to another Aimhi session. We're going to be looking at poetry this week, which I always do, or writing or English. My name is Phil Wilcox. I'm an English teacher here at Aimhi, and I haven't actually been running sessions for a little while now, maybe 2 weeks. And I realized I missed you. I missed all the students here, and I missed the process of creating these lessons and hearing from you. So I just thought maybe we could open things up, and just wanted to see how you were. I've got a little graph here that I'm going to put up, and I want you to maybe describe where you fit on the graph. So... we have, I cannot make this work. And if I can't make this work, this whole session is going to be about editing. And if I can't make that work, it's going to be very hard to do this session. So I'm going to just make that work in the background while maybe a few of you can share how you've gone in the last few weeks. I know that for some of you it's the summer holidays, and some of you maybe it's a bit colder and it's winter. Let me know how you've been. So we've got Get Out of the Freezer here. I missed you too, Phil. Get Out of the Freezer. I got your 2 extra poems, and we're going to be looking at one of them this session. I love both of them. There's one I really, really love, so I want to talk about that. Mers91, always great to see you. I love when people put like 91 or like 96 or whatever in their user handle, and you're always like, I know how old you are. Also, I want to apologize for this filthy little growth here. For whatever reason, I am not adult enough to grow a proper moustache, but I'm trying. So this is the little first attempts at that. Oh my gosh, is Mers91 91? Mers91, are you 91? That's amazing. I actually think Mers91 is a she, not a he. Anyway, I'll let you know how I went. The last couple of weeks, I was in Cornwall, which is a beautiful part in England in the southwest. It's the peninsula that kind of sticks out into the Atlantic Ocean, and it's one of the sunniest places in England, which maybe is not saying that much, but I went there and it was beautiful. Cannot recommend Cornwall enough. I went fishing for mackerel. The mackerel come in the summer, and then me and my fiance, we just loaded up on all this mackerel that we caught, and we just ate mackerel all day, every single meal. We went to these hikes to find little secret beaches. So how are you enjoying your summer? Rebecca Carmen's here. Hey, Mers 91, I am 91 indeed. Get Out of the Freezer said, I'm going to Cornwall soon. Amazing. Go. There's this place in Cornwall that I recommend called Porthcurno Beach. It's near Land's End at the very tippy west bit of England. Such a beautiful beach. But let me know where you're going in Cornwall. I am stalling because I'm trying to get this to work. If we cannot get this screen to work, it's going to be very, very difficult for me to run this lesson, because we're going into, with my Apple Pencil here, the minutia of editing, and I need to show you that up on screen. And if I can't do that now, and I think the reason I can't do that is the Bluetooth in either my laptop or my iPad is playing up. If we can't do this, I think we're going to have to postpone this lesson. So I might give us one more little go to see if this works, and hopefully we can get it done. Rebecca Carmen, I got your poem. We're going to be exploring your poem and Get Out of the Freezer's poem in this session. Rebecca Carmen, you are such a good poet. I'm looking like at your name in the chat because for some reason in my mind I think you're there. I'll look at the camera. It was so good. I was just saying to Get Out of the Freezer, I got Get Out of the Freezer's poems too, and I got your poem. You sent it to me on Instagram. I want to explore it. If you're feeling brave, I wanted to go into it and sort of share why I think it's really good, and then maybe even do some editing and use it as an example to teach editing and editing a poem. If that's okay with you, Rebecca Carmen, and if that's okay, I wanted to do that with you as well, Get Out of the Freezer, let me know. And by the way, I only just got it this morning. So I was going to reply back and say, this is amazing. So sorry about that, Rebecca Carmen. But seeing as I've got you both here, maybe we can just kind of like have chats about your poems. If you're someone else who's here and you're not Get Out of the Freezer or Rebecca Carmen, let me know. Oh, Matthew's on the chat here. Matthew, hi. Oh no way, you've got a mustache too. Oh my goodness. This is so cool. All right. So, I think what we're going to do is we're going to explore these two poems, and we're not going to be able to do it in the crazy cool detail that I'd like to do it with the reading the poem and editing it. But you know what? Poetry was made to be read and performed, and both of these poems have a very, very beautiful rhythm to them. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to read them out loud, and I just want you to not analyze them. I don't want you to try and work out what they mean, what you like about them. I just want them to sit with you, and I just want you to feel and experience them. And I know that sounds kind of a bit hippy-dippy, but I think this is the best way to experience poetry. So straight off, I'm just going to read out these poems. First poem I'm going to read is poem by Rebecca Carmen. I hope that's okay with you, Rebecca. Okay. So this is Rebecca Carmen's poem. Hopefully that'll do it justice. Thousands of years with an unchanging variable creating the heavenly conditions that provide a peaceful existence, a reliable percentage permitting the survival of millions, the Garden of Eden left untouched, forming a new paradise. Now left for dead by the ones who rely on it the most, the calm before the storm, the damage from which is infinite and priceless. It is the year of the man, the decade of the man, the century of the man, an active choice to make it about us. One that causes environmental disasters beyond repair, chasing the dream of a profitable world contained in a maze of capitalism with ever-changing pathways controlled by a select few. An existence founded on hypocrisy that prevents survival whilst demanding that it continues. Carrying the promise of change like the Joker in a pack of cards. A planet of self-destruction. A grenade with a well-researched ending. Target locked in. A single sandbag to prevent the damage. The blame will be. And then it cuts out there. Awesome. Rebecca, I like this poem a lot. I'm not just saying that because, you said in a poem and I want to say it. I like it a lot. What I really like about this poem, and you can't see this, I can't get AirPlay to work. It has this really cool structure like this. And what's great about Rebecca Carmen's structure is that it just sort of starts off like this, kind of contained but still flowing, and the lines kind of peel onto each other, and then it just sort of like flattens out and disperses, which creates this sort of really interesting mood with the subject matter, I think, of the subject matter of of all this sort of tension, this tension, but then this sort of like resignation that this is all our fault. Anyway, what do you guys think? Get Out of the Freezer says, dude, this is amazing. Mers91 likes it. Rebecca Carmen's been all humble, just says thanks in lowercase. Fantastic structure. One thing I love about this poem is Rebecca Carmen is the of one-liners. So this line here, I mean, when I read a line like this and I want to steal it, that's how you know it's good. So here we have a single sandbag to prevent the damaged, a planet of self-destruction, a grenade with a well-researched ending. Oh, I mean, how good is that? A grenade with a well-researched ending? Such a good line. Anyway, there's some things in this poem that I want to go into, and when we say the word edit, it's kind of scary. It's like, oh, you want to change my brilliance? No, I want to make this the poem that it was intended to be. It is the poem that it's intended to be, but I want it to make it just more of itself. I think that there is, every single poem can do with a good edit and a third party looking in and going, oh, I like that. Maybe we could do more of this. And I want to do that with this poem here. I cannot get AirPlay to work, so we're not going to be able to do it now. So I'm really sorry about this. I don't know what's happening with Bluetooth. So I'm just going to read out one more poem. This is a poem from Get Out of the Freezer, who's here. Thanks. It took ages to get the lines the right sizes. There's another thing I want to explain about something that you did, and I think you did it deliberately, which is so clever, is you had this really beautiful rhythm with internal rhyme kind of early on, so it flowed nicely and it matched that little column. Rebecca Carmen, that's genius. Like, people spend so much of their time trying to make these rhyme structures, and you kind of had your own little rhyme structure that you kind of broke a little bit and to make it flow. And whether you did that intentionally or whether you did that subconsciously, it doesn't even matter, because even if you did it subconsciously, you're subconsciously trying to write this flow, which is amazing. If you did it deliberately, you're a genius. If you did it accidentally, you're an accidental genius. I really like this poem. Get Out of the Freezer. You sent me 2 poems. You've sent me so many poems, and I think your poems just go from strength to strength. This is, I really like this poem here, and I love the idea of it. I think you're a really good idea poet. You're good at hooks. You're good at structure and format. Let me read to you this poem here that we've got from Get Out of the Freezer. Just pull this iPad up. Okay. I wonder, Get Out of the Freezer, if you can guess which poem I'm going to read. Which one do you want me to read? So you sent me the one Monsoon, and you sent me When. Rebecca Carmen, I do that as well. I accidentally make rhymes and rhythm match, and I never take credit for it. Like, I'm like, yeah, well, I did accidentally. But no, like that. I think there is something in us as humans, in society as well, where we experience rhyme all the time in music and even in literature and the rhythm of how people talk. There's a naturalness there that you put in, and there's some complicated internal rhymes that I think you did subconsciously, which work really well, which says really good things about your writing, that you're naturally bent that way. Okay, I'm going to read When Then. All right. I like this poem. It's from Get Out of the Freezer. It's called When. One day from now, we'll run out of soap. 1 week from now is my hairdresser's appointment. 1 month from now, I'll be on holiday in Cornwall. 1 year from now, there'll be no more school. 18 months from now, climate change could become irreversible. 10 years from now, the rhinoceros could be extinct. 40 years from now, there might not be enough power to sustain half the world's population. 53 years from now, oil will run out. 54 4 years natural gas, 110 coal, 150 years from now the Earth's temperature may have risen by 6 degrees. 250 years from now North America might be underwater. 1,000 years from now the oceans could have risen by 7 feet. 5,000 years from now, anyway, it goes on like that for a little bit. I hope that's okay if I'm just going to skip through some of it, but it just escalates until we get to 10 years to the power of 100 years from now. The universe will be a sea of elementary particles wafting through an ever larger, ever colder, continually expanding cosmos, and we still won't have any bloody soap. Great poem. Great escalation. I'm sorry I skipped a whole bunch then. I think we're going to round out this this session of Aim High a bit early. Get Out of the Freezer. I really like that poem. People in the chat, tell me what you think. Rebecca, tell me what you think. Merce91, tell me what you think. I love how Get Out of the Freezer has a lot of serious elements in their poetry, but also quite a bit of humor as well. I love how you start with the soap thing. I love how it finishes with the soap thing. You've forgotten about it with the seriousness, and then I like that this whole poem maybe exists in Get Out of the Freezer's head, where they're in the bathroom and they're stressing, and it's like, oh damn, we've run out of soap. I've got my hair appointment. All these things. Oh my goodness, we're gonna die. The universe is gonna expand into nothingness, and then all of a sudden it goes back, and we still won't have any bloody soap. I love that. I think it's very human, and I think it's gonna take us back to editing, which one of the points I was gonna make in editing is often we fall into the trap of catastrophizing or making things overly dramatic, and strangely it's less effective than when we dial it back down and make it human. And that's why when, for instance, we watch a film and we see someone's head being like cleanly lopped off like that, it could be quite comedic because it's so big, it's so kind of hard to wrap our heads around. Ooh. But if we see just like a little instance of pain, like a little paper cut, like that, maybe like a squeeze of lemon in there, like this, all of a sudden we feel it because we're affected by the little things. So I love that this poem is grounded in a little thing of the soap. It grounds the poem and it gives it a nice balance. And just because it's a serious topic doesn't mean that we can't have humor. In fact, probably poetry could be more effective with humor if it's a serious topic. Both the humor earns the right to be serious, and the seriousness means that you've earned the right to be funny. They both earn each other. All right. I am so sorry we couldn't have this lesson like we needed to. I just did a reading of your poetry, and we're going to finish early. I'm really humbled by some of the poetry that I get in here and I get to read. I love that you're writing. I love the quality. And next session, we're going to do editing. So if you have any more poetry that you want to send, great, send it in to me. Show us my editing technique, which is just 4 parts. It's a 4-structure editing technique. And I'll see you then. But my name's Phil Wilcox. This has been a disappointing Aim High with Tech. But next week, we're going to get things up and running. And I think that'll be good. All right. That's it from me. I'm going to see you all later. See you next week. Never trust a poet. All right. Bye.